Hey gang, I sent out the wrong link. Imagine that, Google Live, Google Hangout. So if you go back to the page, to the event page, I have the link right there. If you check your email, it should have a new link to join up, and that will drop you in just like any normal Google Hangout. Hey gang, I sent out the wrong link. Imagine that, Google Live. So I'm just gonna wait till someone joins in.
Hi, Justin.
Hey Chris,
How are ya?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, not too bad. My footrest just fell, so excuse me a second. So this must be exciting for you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, where's everyone else?
Well,
Probably the
I
wrong
sent out
link.
the wrong link initially, so they should have a link that will drop them into this.
Okay, well, it's kind of inspiring to know that somebody who's, not very techy can still succeed online. So thank you for that. Oh dear. I see. Stacy's going to be on the call.
Yeah, she said she'd be here. So
Oh, nice.
I haven't spoken with her. Like I saw her at the lab event, but we didn't really catch up. So it'd be nice to see her again too.
Yeah, she works in insurance and hates it, and I work in government insurance regulation and I hate it. So we bonded over how
Your
stupid
disdain for
insurance is.
insurance.
Yeah. Oh.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. And how's your business going?
Right now it's a little slow actually, which is okay because that's giving me time to work on the things I need to work on, like for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm down to two clients. I had four before, which is fine. Um, but this will give me some time to work on creating whatever it is we come up with today.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yeah.
I want to hear about it, but then you're just going to have to repeat it when everyone else shows up.
Well, I don't know what we're making. I'm gonna ask you guys, everybody, and see what's important to you. What are you struggling with? What do you wish existed? And that's what we'll make.
Yeah, you know what, I'm sort of too lost at the minute to really know. Like I'm just, I'm in a bit of a whirlwind at the minute, um, trying to get a package from the government. So here's
That's
Stacy. Hi, Stacy. How are you?
Oh, hi guys.
how
How's
are you?
work? Are
I
you
think
there?
you,
What,
how
what? Can you hear me?
There we are. Yeah, yeah. You just, I think you froze for a second.
Oh, my internet has been acting up.
How's your new job going?
It's going good. It's nutty, nutty. Doing the
Uh-huh.
full-time gig and that as well. It's a bit crazy, but other than that,
In
it's
a good way or
yeah, in a good way. I'm trying to find like personal balance among all of that. But it's really good.
uh-huh. And when can you quit full-time job?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to.
Ah,
Hi, Wendy.
Hopefully soon.
Hey, how are
hi,
you?
Wendy.
I'm good. How are you?
Great. I heard somebody asked you, when do you quit your full-time job?
No, that was that's for Stacy.
Oh, well, when do you quit your full-time job?
I'm hoping, I'm shooting for end of the year. It was supposed to be June, but the end of the year is looking more accurate.
Good. Put it on your calendar.
Yeah,
I will do it.
yeah.
So everyone, this is Wendy. She's my mentor. She taught me hypnosis. She has a lot. She's responsible for a lot of my growth over the last year.
Nah, you did it all yourself. We know that.
I can blame her. Hey Colin, how are you?
Hey Justin, I'm doing good. Sorry I'm a little late. Having trouble with my computers here.
No worries. I sent out some confusing links too, so it's all right. So let's just hang out for a little bit until we get a couple more people, so I don't have to repeat myself too much, and then we'll get started.
I will be right back. I'm going to step out for a second.
Yeah. If you need to get a drink or anything, do it now. That's good. So what's new with you, Colin?
Not much, actually. Well, actually, I just moved all the way from Edmonton to Toronto, so I've been pretty busy lately.
Oh, Colin, I'm in Toronto.
Oh,
What are you doing
wow.
tomorrow night?
Pardon?
Tomorrow night, we're having a get-together with Dion Dawn.
Oh, where is this happening?
It's at Maitland and Church. It's pretty much downtown.
Uh-huh.
Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Markham.
Oh, can you come? That's north of Bloor. Ew.
Well, I don't mind making the trip down, but
Yeah, and there's that's my email.
okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Give me a call. I'll send you the details. And I'm at Carlton and Jarvis, which is like I'll walk to the place, and
Right.
I've got visitor parking.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
there you go.
I'll get in touch with you after the hangout.
I'm sorry?
I said I'll get in touch with you after the hangout. And,
Yeah, exactly. Ah, got another one. There we go.
Just pull them all in.
Yeah, we got about. I think we're up to about 17 people, which
Oh, wow.
isn't bad for summer, and it was only about a week's notice, week and a half.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, and I think Justin is frozen, and so is Stacy.
I think it's freezing people
Oh,
who haven't spoken recently.
I see. Okay.
Right. People are pinging me. Yeah. So I'll give a quick rundown of what I was thinking today, and then I'll say it again. But so my idea is after I put it out there, somebody's like, oh, it's just like idea extraction, and yeah, I guess it really is. Is to ask you guys what you want, because you know, like I know what it is that I want. I want to make a habit course. I want to make other like different courses, but that's not necessarily what everybody would like to. What would be useful for you right now? So I know what's useful for you will be useful for other people in the foundation and other entrepreneurs who are on the path. So I want to create something that will be useful for people and make sure, just like with idea extraction. So that's the plan: is to see where you're struggling, see what you wish existed that may not exist, or even if it does exist, I suppose I can bring my twist to it.
Okay.
And... All right. Well, we waited a while. I don't know where people are, but that's okay. I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes. Is that all right with you guys?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Cool. So, Chris, what was it? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I see Wendy and Stacy is muted.
Yeah. So Stacy had to run to go do
Uh-huh.
something, and I
Yeah.
think Wendy's just got some background noise.
Oh,
She's being
okay.
high. She's good like that.
You might want to consider, Justin, taking control of the screen sometimes, like when you're doing your talking,
Hmm.
because it seems like every little sound we got somebody else up there.
Okay. Do I do that just, do you know if I just do that by selecting myself?
I believe that's how you do it.
Okay. Well, then I will, I can do that. Thank you for
Okay.
that. All right. So, actually, Chris, right now you're the only one who's in like on here that was in the foundation.
Oh,
So I won't just pick on you, but so let's see. I guess let's start with Colin. So you know a little bit about what I do, and you know what you want to create in the world. What do you think would be awesome that you wish that you had? Like the stuff that you've learned that you wish, wow, I wish that existed when I was further down the mountain.
That's a good one. Can you elaborate a little bit? My mind's running a little blank.
Yeah, that's no problem. And I kind of left it open-ended. So what I would like to do is create a program or a course or a product, and the idea is to create something that people need, something that people want, and you would know better what it is that you'd want than I might. So I guess, yeah, I'm being a little vague. What do you wish? Like, what's important to you that you don't have right now? In terms of like so in terms of mind related stuff.
In terms of mind related, that's a tough one. I guess like you, I'm working on creating a course myself for the world out there, and I guess I'm not sure exactly what mind related that I would need right now, but what I feel would help me a lot would be kind of to have a group of people that share a similar vision, that to kind of just work hand in hand with, kind of having like a mastermind group, I would say. Right? Does that kind of answer the question?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm finding this is a little weird doing it to a group or with a group of people.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, Wendy.
I can't shut up. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So, are you asking for a mindset kind of a thing or a processes kind of thing? So, for example, I woke up this morning going, damn it, I wish there was a template so I could write great emails really easily. You're not looking for something like that, right? You're looking for how can I stay focused so I can, things like that.
If that's what you want, if that's what you would want, that's the kind of stuff that So I'm doing. I feel like I started this with a here, give me stuff, rather than me asking and seeing what are you struggling with, and that's not really the way that this isn't the way I had intended it. But yeah, if like where you said, oh, I'm struggling with, I'm kind of putting words in your mouth, Wendy, but
Right.
I'm struggling with writing an email. I wish there was a template for this, just to make it easy. I wish there were just like 4 little things: the subject, the hook, the tweetable, or the little nugget of knowledge that they're going to take away, that the rest of the email's wrapped around, and then whatever it is that the loop that will get them to read the next one. If there was like a 4-piece template, that would be awesome.
What I need. If you could create like a Mad Libs kind of form that all I have to do is put it in Fusionsoft and help guide me through the process, as once I get people through my launch, and then I'm going to need to send them emails and give them value. My brain just goes, ugh, I can't do this. Justin can do this. Can you do it and make it in such a way that people like me can use your templates? I think you can.
Yeah, I could do that. And for you, if you want, it's just as simple as maybe making a spreadsheet. Maybe I could create that, send it over to you.
But it's also, you know, when I write an email, I sound stilted. Doesn't sound flowing. But are you looking for things like, that's where my struggle is today. Are you looking for the fact that, for example, I struggle with procrastinating on some of this stuff?
Yeah, that would be an action, like if I were to create an action kit, like if you needed a system that you could put into place, and as long as you followed the system, it would get done, that would be doable.
So can I ask the question a different way?
Yeah.
Is this content that you're possibly creating, is it in the mind hacking space or is it in the entrepreneurial space?
So it's in the mind hacking space, but targeted towards like the market would be, the audience would be entrepreneurs, and the way that I'm serving them is through mind hacking.
Okay.
So I do, like Wendy knows, like I can do copywriting, I can do email. That's not it's not alien to me, but that's not necessarily the way that I want to, the direction quite yet that I want to go.
Gotcha. Okay.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah. So if so the habits course that I came to you, I mentioned about like last year. I would love to make that. And there's no reason why I can't, but I'd like to make sure that it's what people want before I create it. If people would love it better if it was delivered every week over a webinar and then collected and packaged at the end with worksheets and stuff, that's what I would do it, rather than just tossing it up on a site and making it a membership site.
But you can do the webinars and the PDFs to a group now and then put it all up on a membership site.
Yeah, and ultimately that's what I would be doing. Just getting those first few people in there.
Okay.
So I can throw out a case scenario of something I'm struggling with right now, if that would be helpful.
Yes. Yeah. What are you struggling with?
So a ceiling problem. So post foundation, I feel like my world kind of got flipped around in terms of, and I posted about this a little bit. My ideal job for the foundation was, a position at a digital agency with a beer cart that comes around on Fridays. And now I feel like the floor on that has completely fallen out. I'm totally different, and I have the opportunity to 10x my dreams, but I can't quite reach outside the box that I've put myself in for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having trouble visualizing what those dreams look like. So when I get asked that question, what's a year out, 3 years out, my mind goes blank. And I don't know what that picture looks like. So one of the things that you've done that's really helped me was the visualization that we walked through a couple different times. You did it on the mastermind that I was in, and then the one that I had one-on-one was even better. But I would love that, and we talked about this, a framework of that kind of recording that I can listen to at any time that I'm experiencing that and struggling because I'm in my head and I need to be taken out of my head.
Okay.
That gave me an idea for you, Justin. Taking that, so for example, because as an entrepreneur we all struggle on different things at different times. We struggle with, oh my God, is this going to work? Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do next. I'm worried about this. I'm procrastinating. Could you do a series of, powerful MP3s for entrepreneurs on almost anything you can think of that an entrepreneur goes through? And then make them 15 minutes or less.
Just do like a visualization, having themselves sit down and do it, mentally rehearsing it in their heads and succeeding?
Whatever those issues are. So for example, if I wake up tomorrow and I'm going, oh my gosh, this is so darn hard for me to write these emails, these 10 emails. Give me the MP3 that connects with, it's easy. You have the confidence to write the emails and connect your audience simply and easily. You can do individual MP3s for all the entrepreneurs' pain points.
And I think kind of what you're touching on is that it's kind of on demand, right? So the challenge with coaching is that you have to plan a time and then like, what are the things that I'm going through at this point that we can chat about, which is good, and there's a place for that. But like, what about the middle of the day when I'm dealing with a situation with my boss, or I'm trying to plan X, Y, or Z and I can't get past that point? I think there's a gap to fill there that isn't in replacement of coaching, but it's a supplement that can help me bridge the gap between those coaching scenarios, and whether that's an email situation or a ceiling situation, or I think you can kind of see where the commonalities lie, but I bet there are common themes to that, which you've probably already experienced.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've found through copywriting and coaching is that the stuff that we experience is most personal to us tend to be the most universal. So if you're feeling lonely, you're not the only person that feels lonely. If you're feeling like it's really personal to you, it means it's even more universal. If you're feeling like getting on that phone and asking like for the price anchor, that feels like you're taking from someone, that's very universal, even though it feels personal to you. Like, oh, I'm asking, I'm taking, it's something to do with me. It's a common thing that, yeah, I could create stuff for the things that do come up time and time again.
Are there enough universal things that come up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So what might that look like to you, Stacy, if it existed, say if it existed on your phone?
Yeah.
And you were like, oh man, I have this call with my boss in 15 minutes, or whatever the scenario is. I have 15 minutes before this happens.
I want it Bootify, but I want your visualizations. Do you know Bootify?
No.
It's an app. It's kind of like Vana or whatever, but
Is
I
it
love...
like Buddha, like B-U-D?
It's Buddihy, I think. Let me put it in chat and I'll look at the spelling.
Okay.
But I even had this thought during the foundation, Justin, because I was listening to this and I'm like, and it was after we had our visualization, and I'm like, I want that visualization I just did, even the recording of what we just did, in my phone so that I can listen to it and on demand when I need it.
Okay. So
I'm going to jump in here and
Yeah.
say, yeah, that was good when I had the one-on-one with you, Justin, and we ended up babbling for too long before, so the visualization was quite short. I would love a sort of longer, more complete visualization thing. And as I told you in Colorado, I mean, I think you could you could sell those things.
Yes.
You know, those, and you asked me how much I would pay, and I'm going like, I have no income right now, so that's a difficult question to answer, because right now the answer would probably be zero, because I really got to watch it right now. But that would, I think that would be something quite unique that you could offer.
Cool. So you've mentioned this, and several other. So this has come up several times where it's like a custom visualization.
Yeah.
Where they can choose, here, I want this component, I want this element, I want to spend this time with my wife or husband. Yeah. I have kids or I don't have kids, and that kind of thing, and then have it in such a way that it's kind of piecing together these segments, almost like a choose your own adventure.
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah. Sort of like when they apply, you say, okay, in 5 years, what's your health going to be like? What's your finances going to be like? Where are you going to travel? What are you going to do for fun? Like all the things you asked me.
Mm-hmm.
And then just, you know, your voice is just so calming, and I mean, you could do, you know, a 20-minute visualization thing, I guess, if you're comfortable doing that just from like an application form instead of talking to people. Uh-oh.
Was I frozen?
You're good now.
Sorry, I shut off my video because I've been having internet issues, and I apologize if I interrupted.
No, not at all.
I think there's probably two kind of layers, right? You could do some of the more, I don't want to say generic because they're not generic, but kind of the more universal themes like you did on that mastermind, Justin, that you kind of keep it a little bit not too customized, where that could be kind of lower tier products or offers that you could do, and then whether it's a supplement to coaching, if you're going to continue that, or if it's another complete and total service that you offer where you have the more customized recording available. I think there are people who would pay for that, particularly after they have the coaching experience. Because I still kick myself for not having the Skype recording of the one that we had.
Stacy, do you want that recording? I can send it to you.
If you have it, you will be my favorite person on the planet. Because I need it right now.
All right.
Or build an app between now and tomorrow. That would be awesome.
I would be my favorite person in the world then if I could do that.
I would also echo about your voice, because there's a lot of really crappy voice. Sounds silly, but on these apps, there's really bad voices that are distracting. And I don't know what it is about yours, but it's not that way. Maybe it's because I know you. But for what that's worth.
Tell me a little bit more about my voice, Stacy.
Okay, we're taking a completely different turn now with this one.
No, that's good though. So make it so there are there's maybe generic's not the right word, commonalities that people experience, especially when they're facing like entrepreneurial struggles or challenges. So I could totally incorporate those, and there's general like archetypes of people like the beach, people like the mountains, people like the shore, people like Arizona, and I could just make those options. So I think so I'm seeing kind of two different things here. Like one would be like the future visualization, which is not really challenge oriented. And then one that is challenge oriented, which is more specific to either getting on the phone or interacting with another human being or accepting value, like having it returned to them.
Totally agree.
Yeah, or getting psyched up for a sales call or
pitch, yeah.
So it's almost like a recording or visualization that they do before an entrepreneurial challenge.
Right.
Right. For example, I could listen to the MP3 and imagine how great it feels, the future visualization would be not only did I finish those emails, but people are responding more than I ever expected.
Mm-hmm.
Or I finished that meeting with my boss, or I finished that meeting with somebody and get on the phone and call somebody and say, wow, it worked out so well. I felt so great at that meeting. I think there's enough common situations and events that entrepreneurs go through.
Or I'm stuck at my full-time job and I'm frustrated.
Yeah. Surrounded by Dementors from Harry Potter. Yeah, I know that one.
Okay.
But it's like, if you end up downloading that app, Justin, I'm just cruising through the categories they have. They have really vague things like waking up, traveling, eating, which I don't really get how you meditate when you're eating, but I could be crazy. Work break in the park. Like, I'm thinking similar to this, but super tailored for the entrepreneurial niche and scenarios that we face. Because I just think about people going through the foundation, for example, and some of that, those kind of scenarios, and I think that could be super valuable.
So, as valuable as it may be, which is awesome that we found something valuable. So the Bootify app is $3. Do you think that since entrepreneurs have like a financial gain or financial, what am I trying to say? It's them improving themselves is going to further their business. Do you think people will be willing to maybe buy the tracks individually, or like for this challenge, like I need to send out emails and I'm not doing it. I need to make a pre-sale call or a price anchoring call.
I can speak for myself in that I would. I do know that I think Ambana, I can't remember the name, they have a small set that they release with the app, and then you purchase additional at a higher premium cost.
Okay.
And one, I would pay more than $3 for an app by you, but I also know you, so I'm biased. But I think because it's niche, you could possibly ask a little bit more, but I think it's enticing people to further down your funnel a little bit more.
Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents.
So you could sell it as a set. So $3 each, or 3 for $8 or something like that. So if somebody gets the whole set, they're probably going to use it more, and they'd be more likely to buy something else from you.
Yeah. So what this might be good for is when you're building a sales funnel, you have your lead magnet, which is the thing that they opt in for in exchange for their email address, like you're giving them something. And then most people have the funnel, or like the lead magnet, and then their core offer. And the core offer would be something big. But a better way to do it is to have what some people call a tripwire sale, which is a very low-cost item that makes that first sale happen. Because after somebody buys something from you once, that relationship comes from just like, oh, someone I follow online to trusted advisor. And this might be good for the tripwire offer, but I don't think I would need to make it so complicated if it's going to be just a tripwire offer.
Yeah. I think you have to balance the need with what makes sense for the business. You know, an app is awesome, but does that make sense for you, investment-wise?
Right.
So, Justin, if you go back to your original question, for everybody here who's an entrepreneur, what's their pain point? What are they struggling with? I don't know if we've heard from everybody.
So would you guys mind if we just go down the line and ask where you're getting stuck? So Chris, can we start with you?
Procrastination is one. Habits. I think sort of more big picture visualizing. I think that would be something that you could offer.
Is that
That's
something that
probably it.
you?
Maybe a few mental blocks on, like, I think I'm the only one on the planet who does not have a website. I've just got a mental block on, should I take the dive and learn WordPress, or yeah. So don't know. So those are mine.
Do you feel like that's stopping you right now from moving forward?
No, but
Okay.
I know it's something at some point I'm going to have to put up a website. And I guess I have friends who can do it, but I'm not sure. I'm sure they do it for me, but I'd rather not be quite so helpless.
Gotcha. Okay. There's people that can tackle that and teach you how to do that. So I think I'll leave that to them.
Yeah.
But that is good to know.
Yeah.
How about you, Colin? Where do you find yourself getting stuck?
I think the biggest issue for me is after you see that vision already, and it's knowing what's the next step or that first step to take. That's always something I'm always tackling. I feel like my vision is always constantly changing. I'm working on it, and it's constantly developing. But I feel like I'm unable to take that initial step. Right? And I feel that's probably a problem a lot of entrepreneurs would have as well.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is finding the time and making the time to invest in yourself. We focus so much, well, I feel like I focus so much on creating this one big project or whatever that I forget to focus on my personal growth, on the abundance in my life, right? And learning to balance what I find is significant in my life, right?
Mm-hmm. I can relate with that one. I do work on myself, but it's almost passively, like, oh, I'm in the car, or oh, I've got a couple minutes of downtime. It's not really dedicated. Okay, let's block out an hour because I'm worth that. It's almost like I just squeeze it in when I can. So, do you mind if we step back for a second to you mentioned creating that big vision. Like, you already have yours, but not everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
And then even when you do have that big vision, you're kind of getting blocked up on what's the next step or first step to creating that vision.
That's right.
If there was a process or a system or like a course I could walk you through, like I'd create a course and you sit down and you watch it, and it walks you step by step to creating a foolproof plan to get from where you are to where you want to be without creating the hurdles, and then having some worksheets to like sit down and do it. So you're kind of just following a tested system. Would that be worthwhile, do you think?
Yes, I think that would be really good.
So do I. Yeah.
I'd pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think another really good thing to add is maybe kind of like I really want to elaborate with that whole having a group and having that accountability. I think that helps as well, right? Because like sometimes I feel like I know what the first step is, I know what I need to do, but I'm just not doing it. I don't know if it's procrastination or there's nothing holding me accountable yet. Right? I still have a daytime job that I haven't quit yet. Maybe that's why, or I don't know. Right? But I'm just not taking that initiation. Right? And I felt like maybe if I had an accountability group to kind of push me in that direction.
Okay. What might that group look like to you if you were to choose the people in the type of group that you were in? Like, what would set you up for the greatest success?
Good question. I have no idea. If I knew, I'd have this group.
Okay. That's good to know, though. So,
But if you could find a way to do a teleseminar with the group, because obviously if you only have 8 people, it's not worth it. Then it's an expensive whatchamacallit group, mastermind group. So how can you do it if you're having, because I know you can easily create the big vision and take it step by step through that so we can stay focused, create what our first step is, and have that foolproof plan. That's perfect. But I also agree that maybe a teleseminar is not the way. Maybe it is a hybrid of a teleseminar and private Facebook group. Because how do you have 50 people, for example, on there?
right, it would have to be like, so I could do a teleseminar, or I could present it in the webinar, or something like that, but then have several groups of 8 or several groups of 6. So
In little Facebook groups.
yeah, so like this would be one pod, like the
Yes.
5 of us, and
Mhm.
then there might be
But
several.
you would give us the framework, and here's how it works in these groups. That you say, this is what I'm going to do. There's got to be a way for you to have a little tiny bit of involvement, but setting up the mastermind Facebook accountability groups and support groups, kind of a thing. I don't think anybody's ever done this,
Okay.
but it can work. Okay.
How do you feel like that would set you up for success? Okay, wait. Colin, does that sound like something that would be useful for you?
I think it could, yeah.
Okay. What does there feel like there's anything that would be missing from having a small group and a framework?
Not necessary. I think what would make each group stronger is if you kind of I guess I'll explain a little bit about what I had in mind. Was I wanted to kind of create a small group of I guess, let's just say experts with the similar vision in the same niche or whatever, and then kind of creating like, what do you call it, an online conference in a way where each person can do a webinar on their specialty, on their topic, on what they're really good at, or a topic that they want, and I think it is, and then having that group, you kind of doing the same thing, same niche, same topic, kind of support each other in a way, right? And it's an opportunity to learn a lot from each other as well, and there's just so much more exposure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, I guess, my motive is always not just to sell a person a fish, but to teach them how to fish, right? So I want to kind of create a group of leaders, right? And focus on creating a group of leaders instead of just focusing on creating a webinar and just offering whatever you have to offer, right? So I guess what I kind of wanted to look for was like a group, I don't know, a mastermind group of people that share a similar interest in teaching the same thing that I want to teach and offering the same thing I want to offer. Yes.
Thank you, Stacy. Go ahead, Colin.
Yeah.
Cool. That actually sounds like something that would be really awesome to do as a a totally different project.
Yes, exactly.
If you want to talk about that later, we can talk about that later. If that would be something you'd want to, if you would like support in creating that community of like leaders, I'd be happy to talk with you about that. And,
sure. Yeah. That's
okay. That's right. Okay. Cool.
Justin, did you were a coach in the foundation? That's right?
I was
I wasn't
technically
in the
a
pro.
team leader, but I probably
Okay.
did as much, if not more, coaching
Yeah.
than the coaches.
Did you enjoy that? Is that something you would do?
Yes and no. I loved connecting with people. I loved
Okay.
helping people like move forward. But through that month of March, when I was in my March Madness, I had people scheduled like back to back to back. So I had like literally 60 minutes to move somebody along, and I didn't get to connect, make like a deep connection with someone in that 60 minutes because we had an agenda, we had a very limited amount of time, and that part I didn't like.
Right.
People like I met with Stacy before all the badness, and I got like a deep connection with her. I liked that. It's not about making friends, but it kind of is. It's about like making that connection.
A connection. Yeah.
So the coaching I loved. The how I structured it so it was 60 minutes I didn't like.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking like group coaching, because if Colin, I don't know what field you're in or what business you're trying to go into, but I'm in a mastermind group and I find it very useful for weekly accountability and for learning. We're not learning from experts because we're not experts. We're just all bumbleclutzing, and it's really good for connections, and we get a lot of good ideas. But for Justin, I think if Colin had a bit of a group together, you'd need somebody to organize it and sort of be a coach of it and sort of be the chair of the meetings, I guess, or the leader of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something you would be interested in.
I would be interested in like co-leading something like that with Colin if he would be interested.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But a resource that Colin might be able to use now is there's I think it's called G5 Leadership. It's at G5TV or G5.tv. It has almost what you are looking for. But it's like a paid program that somebody's put together where they have people who are experts giving talks on their expertise. Similar to TED Talks in that it's like a bunch of different people, but it's like the guy who did Get Stuff Done has done something. You check it out. That sounds like similar to what you would like, only you'd want everybody to be able to contribute, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Colin, you're thinking of get a bunch of people together with complementary skills, and each contribute expertise
to a common or a similar project or product or whatever, right?
Okay.
Okay, so then it's a matter of finding them.
They're all out there. They're all the thought leaders that we look up to anyway. Really.
But would they be willing to? I imagine you'd have to pay somebody for that to come and give a talk to your group. And if they're the big shots, what would they get out of it?
That's a good question.
I'm thinking if you have a bunch of people that are at the same stage that you're at or one step ahead, you could probably learn a lot from them.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they're one step ahead. They're not like gazillionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I sat down with Richard Branson, I wouldn't know what to ask, and what he'd say, it wouldn't affect me because I'm probably at the $100 startup stage, and he just probably have a spare gazillion in his pocket, and he's got a lot more options.
So what he might be able to share with you, you might not be at that level to apply it yet.
Right. And I'm on reserve battery, so I got to plug myself in here.
Wendy, did you have something?
Yeah, I'd like to have a foolproof plan that would help me to gather my avatars so I could find out what they need.
What might that look like?
Beats the hell out of me.
When you say gather your avatars, is that like?
So I need to connect with people who are starting a business or who want to enlarge or grow their business, and who are finding that they need confidence in certain areas, that they're afraid in certain areas of moving forward. But I'm not too sure if that's exactly what I need for my program. So if there was a program that said, okay, you need to find out from the people that you want to attract what it is they need. How do you do that? So I think it would be not a huge program, but it would save entrepreneurs a lot of time because they might be heading off in the wrong direction and thinking, oh, I'm sure they want this, but we don't know until we kind of connect with a lot more people.
I don't know that is.
I don't know if that's able to go into a product.
Yeah, I don't. I think every entrepreneur needs to talk to their customers and their potential customers.
Somebody might not have customers.
Then you go out and find somebody you think might be a customer and find out what they want, like Justin is doing right now.
Attempting to. I was, I had questions kind of for like a bigger group, or, but yeah, you go out and you say, what do you want? What do you wish existed? What are you struggling with? That if this thing existed, you wouldn't be struggling anymore.
Yeah. I was talking to a guy in the foundation, and he hasn't done a lot of that, and so he's going to go on a couple forums and send them to a survey. So you might be able to do that. And one of the survey questions is, can you give me your email so I can call you and email you for a more in-depth interview or something?
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Because they'll commit to a little survey.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of escalating. That's good.
Yeah.
Actually, talking about the surveys, I thought if you're going to go the whole webinar route, right, the webinar or teleseminar or whatever, how about just an idea I kind of thought of is, like let's say you pick a subject, a certain subject, even if it's vague, it's broad, that's okay. Pick a subject that you think entrepreneurs are struggling with right now, and then I guess get them to sign up for this webinar, and then I guess right before you create the webinar or start the webinar, right, shoot them a survey, asking them questions, like break down that subject into smaller details, and then kind of get ask questions, get to know the audience that are actually coming to that webinar, what their struggles are, That way, when you give that webinar, you can be pretty firm and direct on what they want. And then what you could do is like let's do one seminar. The next week, do a follow-up seminar, right? Just be like in this seminar, you can be like, okay, so today we talked about this topic, right? Next week, we're going to talk about another topic. And then do the same process before that. Shoot them a survey asking them what problems they're having with this topic or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
It kind of gets that interactivity, and then it can be a series of seminars. And let's say down the road you create 5 seminars, right? You can wrap that all up, and right there you created a product, I think.
I think you're right. Like, since it's different topics, you can package it as some kind of a class, or you're speaking to their problems and their pains based off what research you got. So I do like that idea.
Yeah, and it kind of gives you the opportunity to ask them questions and follow up after each webinar, because I notice most webinars people do, it's one webinar and then it's the sales, it's the product, right? And you don't really get that opportunity to kind of just, ask one question after another. Right? It's kind of a long interview process, right, before you figure out everything that your customers want. Right? And I don't know, it's an idea. I'm not sure if that'll work.
No, it's a great idea. I have on my calendar to do a monthly webinar, and I haven't done it the last 2 months. But I totally, there's definitely value in asking, like adding a survey component in there, because that's where you're getting all your information for products to help them, for your message, for everything. So as long as I don't make the questions the same every month.
Exactly, yeah.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Are you taking notes, Wendy? Good.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I told you guys I would hold you up or hold on to you for an hour, and we're coming up on that hour. If you want to go, that's totally cool. I'm honestly feeling like we've probably dug up what we're going to dig up tonight.
I think you should do it again too.
I think you should, yeah.
And really focus on, what's your pain point? What's your pain point? Because it's too easy for entrepreneurs like us to say, "Ooh, I got this idea. I got this idea." Right.
And usually, I would say I can't say what I would usually do because I should have just done that. But yeah, find out what you're struggling with, and the real test comes when you say, like, would you be willing to put money down to get this?
Yeah.
I think you should do it again too, because I'm not sure if this is the first time you've done this or with this group, or
yeah, this is the first time I've done it.
I guess we've just basically it's the tip of the iceberg, right? And now that everyone has got all this going on in their mind, it gives us time to contemplate and think, and then the next time we do it, we come back, everything will just be much more richer, right? I came into this, I had no idea what was going on, I had no idea what to expect.
And I thank you for trusting me enough to just like jump into something you had no idea what it was about.
Yeah. Okay. I gotta go. So, Colin, I'll look for your email and see you tomorrow night.
Yes. Give me the details and what's going on. Like I said, I actually have no idea what's going on tomorrow, so I guess I'll be going blindfolded again.
Well, there you go. And you trust me because you trust Jason. Yeah.
Yes.
No, this is foundation stuff. I thought everybody invited here was in the foundations.
Nope.
Colin's a good guy. He'll fit right in. He's on a similar path to me, we're on similar paths.
Yeah. Okay, I got that feeling. Okay, so I'll look for your email then, Colin.
I'll just type it in here. There you go.
There we are. Okay. Good night, Wendy.
All right. Good night, Justin. Good night, Wendy.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.